All right, now Batman.
Batman. No. Now,
Batman.
are we limiting it to the 6 TV/movie Batmans, or I know you guys, I saw you guys were like, or people were throwing out like animated ones.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, don't. Do
if you list it, it's a top 3. So if you list it to the only the 6 movies, that's only going to leave so many options.
Yeah, don't do that. I mean,
I just say leave it open. Batman in general.
Yeah, if it's, Batman is Batman. So cartoon or live action.
Yeah, I agree.
There was only 1 or 2 of the live action ones that I liked. And if I had to pick.
All right, let's start with number 3 and work our way down. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay. So, first of all, I'll just tell you, for the sake of the meme that you put out and everything, my favorite of the 6 Batmans is the Adam West 66 Batman. Okay? But my number 3 on the list was the prehistoric Batman from The Return of Bruce Wayne. And this was the one where he was all the way back at like the beginning of time, and he was fighting Vandal Savage, and he was wearing the skin of a giant, like, fat dinosaur. And I was just like, that's the most badass Batman I've ever seen.
Oh, we're going in comics too. I mean, actually like people. I thought it was like animated voices or okay.
I think I have one that's comics, one that's animated, one that's something else. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool. There you go.
You just said Batman, so I just, you know what I mean?
I got you. No problem. I just, okay. So,
all right.
Cool.
Now it gets all types of difficult now.
Yeah, right? Exactly. But I still, mine haven't changed much, so that's good.
Okay. So, who's next? Number 3.
I'll go next. Number 3 for me would be, Nick, the one you just said would be the Adam West version of Batman. That's the one I grew up with. Technically, that was the first Batman that I had seen, even before I saw the comic.
Absolutely.
I had seen the TV show. I was born in '72, so this thing was way over by the time I came around, and I didn't see these until maybe I was a couple years old, or 3-4 years old. And then I didn't get my first comic book until I was 6. So, and it was a Batman comic book with Man-Bat on the cover, which confused the shit out of me. But either way, so yeah. But my very first version of Batman was Adam West, so that was always to me. And as I got older, I realized how campy it was. But and other favorites took over. But still, that's always my first. So yeah, there you go.
All right, so my number 3. Yeah, I can just, I guess, go off the movie. Let me.
We messed the day all up.
Yeah, fuck that
right. Exactly.
Because then there was what the fuck was it? Was it the Super Friends?
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See, like,
I know the voice guy you're talking about. That was
like those.
I can't think of the guy's name.
See, those relate, like, to that Batman that we grew up with, the campy Adam West and all. And I always related more to those.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with from the Super Friends, because that was like the same era, with the Super Friends, and even like the Saturday morning cartoons with the Scooby Doo when Batman and Robin would pop up over there. So yeah, I'm going to go with that for my number 3.
Challenge of the Super Friends.
Yes.
All that stuff. Yeah. No, I know. And the Robin was sounded a lot like Casey Kasem. And I think it was in one of them.
It was. I'm looking now.
Yeah.
No, I like that Batman though, because he's not super muscular. Like, he's not the Batman Hulk, and it's like the blue and purple one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always liked those more. I always liked the Batman with the blue or the purple than the whole Dark Knight black thing.
Yeah. They had, you know what they call that now, though? The blue and gray, kind of grayish. It looks purple sometimes, but it's mostly gray. It's blue-gray.
Right.
But they always refer to that character or that version of Batman as Detective Batman.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they refer to that era as the Detective Batman, because they did a gimmick with one of the toy lines. They did it on a couple toy lines, but one of the toy lines was the Legends of Batman figures.
Okay.
Where they had all the different versions. There was like Pirate Batman and all the other shit. But yeah, they made a special variant of the Batman. That was the gimmick. They called it Detective. So the blue and gray suit.
I got to tell you guys, I love those ones. Like the purple and yellow Batgirl is like my all-time favorite costume. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. The original. Right, so I have that first comic too. That's good. Anyway, all right.
Number 2.
Nick,
all right, my number 2. Okay, so my number 2, I guess, is technically in the comics and animated, and maybe a little bit of Batflick thrown in there, but that's Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns Batman, and the guy was brutal. You know what I mean? Like he was an older Batman who had just had enough with it. You know what I mean? And he was a total badass.
Yeah.
You guys fans of The Dark Knight Returns?
I am really. It's one of the. If we would go top 5, I would say it would be in there for me, because technically that they always attribute him to or that version to Batman getting his balls back.
Right.
Because that kind of broke the 80s. Yeah, it kind of broke the 80s mold, or the 70s, 80s mold of that character that you guys were just talking about. And it brought him into a more darker, realm. So yeah, I enjoy that version a lot.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, number 2 is my number 2 will be the comic version, but mine number 2, more so than I liked the Dark Knight Returns, was the Jim Lee era of Batman. That they did the Hush storyline.
Right.
The art on those, the art and the way Jim Lee drew Batman was so, you know what I mean? It's just, that always resonated as me. I love that storyline. And I can't wait. Eventually, I hope they do an animated deal. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's the one where he has like, they're almost like he has Batman Infinity gloves on, like, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one with the blue ones and they're like giant arm pieces?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
Yeah, and when they did the Return of Jason Todd story, gimmick in there, and the whole nine, it was just, I loved his art on all of the characters, not just Batman. But yeah.
Now that's another super ripped Batman though, like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, he was huge in that. But yeah, it was just, I liked that art, that story of it. It just resonated as over top of everything else.
Very cool.
All right, so I'm gonna go since you guys fucked me all up. I was just thinking of those six, and now we're talking animation, fucking comic books, and it's a whole new world now. So
there's only 6 of the other ones. If we would have all picked, there would have been multiple.
Well, no, there's more animated.
Well, yeah, no.
Plus,
totally.
if you went with the the ones from the 40s on the what do you call it?
right.
The serials.
Batman.
Serials.
Yeah, serials. The serial version. So there are a few. There, the animated. I was surprised at how many animated versions there have been too, or animated voices have voiced Batman too. So even Peter Weller, RoboCop, was Batman at one point.
Oh, that's too funny.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I'm looking.
So go ahead, Bale. Yeah, he's still looking for.
No, I know what I want to pick. I just want to try to find who the artist is. But it's the Batman comic era, like late 70s, early 80s, back when the comics were like 40 to 50 cents.
Neil Adams.
Is that who it is, Neil Adams?
Yeah, look at Neil Adams' Batman and see, make sure.
Let me see.
I'm thinking, oh man, who's that gotta be? Is that Earth 2 Batman?
Maybe. It's pre-Crisis Batman.
Actually, the Neil Adams ones might be older.
Oh, okay.
They might be more early 70s.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember, to be honest, who took over after Adams did.
Even like down to the Batman logo. Like,
right.
Like, here we go. That's not it.
Yeah. Look up Batman Artist 79. That'll probably give you at least a couple of the guys.
Are you? You think he's talking about Carmine Infantino?
Maybe. It was he. I don't. Like I said, I'm not remembering who took over after Adams, but
I think Neil Adams though was like what they were saying, 69, 70, 71.
Yeah. Well, I know. Like I said, no, he was up until I want to say 76.
Let's see here.
Maybe
76. Okay.
I think. Because that's he was just at one of the Comic-Cons recently, and I was over at his booth watching him because he was doing some like art, but he was expensive as shit to do something. So I was like that, but yeah, I was still watching him. It was still fucking good to watch, cool to watch. But
hang on, I'm gonna.
Well, the reason I was thinking maybe it was Infantino is because he was the one that they brought in when they were, revamping Batman.
Right.
Like that era Batman right there.
Oh, okay. Which one is that? That's wow. That's probably way earlier than Infantino, yeah. 316.
Haha, the crazy quilt.
Okay, I'm going to pull up information on that issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got, this is Batman 316 from Volume 1. It's from October of 1979. Let's see, the cover artists, I don't know who any of these dudes are.
Yeah, I told you, man. I don't know the late deals. I don't know who took over after. I wasn't really interested in the artist. I was just liking the stories.
And it's like who is there isn't like one specific artist. There's like a cover artist, a penciler, an inker, a colorist.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Penciler would usually be like the complete artist, because he's, after that, the only ones that the inker is the one that goes over top of his shit with ink to kind of get it in there, and then the colorist comes in after and does the color. So usually the penciler is like the artist, technically, when they do that.
That one.
This guy's Herb Novich.
Mm.
You never heard of him?
No.
Now that one I just sent over was like my favorite one, because at the time I was like a complete hockey fanatic. So there was the cross between the bad hockey player against Batman. But anyway, so that late 70s, early 80s Batman was my number 2 comic version.
There you go. Let's go. So whoever did the art on it, that's the one. All right.
What's up, everyone? Gen of Geek, and I am here with Julian Glover. How are you doing?
Well, I'm enjoying myself very much.
There we go.
Huh. He was enjoying himself very much.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess
it's one of the pages I was searching comic book stuff on.
Oh yeah, I hate when fucking ads pop up like that. Scare the shit out of you. All right, so there it is. Nick, you're number 1.
All right.
Not really, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm going to take that to mean that you think I'm number 1.
Yeah,
I choose to believe it.
Whatever you. Yeah, that's half the fun.
Okay, so my number 1. When I was thinking about which one I think I enjoyed the most, I kind of went for like the beginning to end storyline, like anything that really sort of wrapped me up. So the one that I picked actually is the Arkham Batman, the one that's from the Arkham City Lockdown, Arkham Origins, Arkham. What is it? There's like 4 or 5 different ones. And then there's also the Assault on Arkham animated that's based on that. And but I think that one from start to finish, especially the way it sort of ended, it with Arkham Knight and was Batman really alive? And it was it was a really, really good damn story and a really cool Batman.
Mm-hmm. You're talking the voice actor?
Well, I was in general the whole. I like the way he's designed. I like the way his origin played out, and I mean start to finish, I think he was a really good Batman.
Right.
But the voice actor too is was Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. So.
Or I think he did the first 2.
Yeah, he did. And now, he's doing it again. Actually, now they have him back again. Because he's the one. He's in Justice League Action. He's Batman and doing a lot of the.
Cool.
He did the Killing Joke with Mark Hamill and and that actually he is my number one. Was Kevin Conroy for any of the Batman that he's done. Because that, like, before when you would think of Batman in a voice before, I guess, even the movies came out, I'd always think of Adam West. That was my first deal until I went and saw the animated series and Kevin Conroy, and he just became that voice. Anytime I saw a comic or whatever, the voice that I had heard was Kevin Conroy. After that point, so he's just done so much over the years with it, and I enjoy his voice as Batman. So he's my number one.
Oh man, I don't know if this was him or if it was the Brave and the Bold. But did you ever see the Batman does not eat nachos?
Yeah, no, that was the Brave and the Bold.
Was it the Brave and the Bold? Okay.
Yeah. And you know who that guy was doing
Batman eat nachos.
Yeah. Do you know who that was? The Batman. That was Drew Carey's buddy. The one with the curly hair.
Dietrich Bader.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
He was Batman's voice in the Brave and the Bold. So.
Oh, that's too funny.
Mm-hmm. But all right, Bay, you're number one.
All right, number one without a doubt. With that, and actually, I was kind of surprised because when I put that post up with the 6 choices of Batman, because I hear a lot of people like they really are. I guess maybe it's just the modern era fans. They all don't. You get that classic line that, like even Janetti said, Adam West is too campy. The 66 version is too campy.
It is.
But it seemed like Adam West was the one who really most people picked as their favorite, and I was kind of surprised by that. But without a doubt, that 66 Batman was, I remember being that 3, 4, or 5-year-old kid and living for that show every day after, whenever it would come on, like 4 o'clock, and crying when it was over. Being a distraught child and crying when that show was over. And to this day, I can still, just listening to Adam West's voice, I just relate it so much to Batman, and that one will always be my favorite Batman without a doubt.
I agree. And that's why he was my number 3. So because he's just that iconic.
It's amazing that some of these people have like these signature voices that'll never go away. You know what I mean? Like nobody will never not know what Stan Lee's voice was like, and we really shouldn't. Like, oh, and Adam West is another one. It's just an iconic voice.
Yeah.
Damn, we forgot.
And he
to bring
really
up
never
Stan
did
Lee
much
with
more.
Kristen.
You know what? I didn't like Bale as Batman. He wouldn't have been in my top 5.
No,
number 4 for me would have been Dark
3.
Knight, and then number 4 would have been Dark Knight for me, and number 5 would have been Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had to pick like Keaton and then George Clooney and Val Kilmer because I didn't like Bale at all. Like,
yeah, I didn't like Bale. I didn't like Kilmer. I damn for sure didn't like Clooney.
You know what though? Clooney will never get the credit that he's due for the. He played a good Bruce Wayne.
I was just going to say that. I thought he was really good as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Which we should do that next week. We should. Who was our favorite Bruce Waynes? Who played their favorite Bruce Waynes? Because I think that's. I think that gets
is
overlooked.
A different category.
And I think that gets very overlooked, and it's in a very important part of the whole Batman character.
It is. It is quite.
And then the following week we can do who's our favorite Alfred.
There you go. Yeah, but the thing is, it's hard with Bruce Wayne because there's not as many Bruce Waynes, versions of Bruce Wayne, as there are Batman.
Right, because some of them are very generic performances as well. But
well, it's not even that. Like the Super Friends, you picked the Super Friends guy. There was never a time you saw Bruce Wayne on the Super Friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if you did, it was very quick.
Yeah, it was nothing maybe. Yeah, it was more of a thing that, they were sliding down the bat pole.
You saw more of Apache Chief as not Apache Chief than you did Bruce Wayne.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
I mean, very rarely even did you see like Clark Kent, as Superman in there.
Right.
So, you didn't see those versions of them very often.
Now let me ask you this, Jimmy. Does if we're doing the best Bruce Wayne, say, does Bruce Wayne from Batman the Animated Series, is that a different Bruce Wayne than Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond?
No, it's the same. It's the same one technically.
Right. But their characters are pretty different.
Yeah, no, the characters are very different. It's he changed a lot from the time of technically the animated series till he's seen in future versions of himself. He went kind of like they kind of put him through a deal like the Dark Knight Returns deal.
Yeah.
Not as extreme in the ending, I would say, but yeah, that's he went through that before you see him as the old man. So he did change a lot.
Because for a cartoon, that was a pretty complex version of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, definitely, and especially when they threw it into the when they did Justice League Unlimited, and they had Batman went into the future and met that Bruce Wayne.
So was Justice League Unlimited, that's the same Batman as animated series?
Yeah.
Oh,
They wrapped it all into one. So just like the Superman from the Justice League Unlimited was the Superman from the animated series.
Oh,
they just kept that all going.
I didn't know
it was the same thing. Yeah, they just kept it going. So.
Oh man, you talk about an underrated cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And I'd always wanted to see that come back. That should be the one. But I think it was more too adult for people, or for the kids, because it was a very adult version of all of it. Yeah,
when you look at like what the kids like now as far as comics, you can tell that the adult stuff is out. Teen Titans Go is what they like now.
Speaking of that, how great was that trailer, the fart trailer that you shared out there?
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says, dude. I think it's a really funny show.
I was really excited by seeing that. Like, I was like, oh my god, I want to see this.
They make Batman into this like absentee father figure that's kind of stupid, and I just love that they were all dressed up like Wonder Woman. Like,
it's so funny.
Too funny, dude.
Yeah, how bad is? And I said that in the comment. Like, that'll probably be the best thing DC's put out between that and than the actual live action movies.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. It is, man. More people honestly prefer the animated stuff to what DC's doing for live action.
Yeah.
That's the terrible part. And that's because, I told you, Warner Brothers just does not have faith in their characters. So they give it out to these people who have their vision, and nobody cares about their vision. Nobody cares about Zack Snyder's vision of the Justice League, huh?
Is Affleck out as Batman already?
I don't know if he's coming back or not.
Yeah, it's sort of up in the air right now, they're saying.
Yeah.
I thought he was a horrible Batman, but I liked him as Bruce Wayne.
But they, you got to be excited for that, though, right? The guy that's now in charge of the Batman is the guy from the guy that did the Planet of the Apes movies, the newest one.
Right.
So that's going to be really interesting. He's got a very sort of cool style.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Nice. So, all right. Well, as a matter of fact, let's give a shout out to our other fellow Philly A-list winners, Ontario Street Comics. You know, the best comic shop every year. We don't need the Philly A-list to tell us. We already know this. Ontario Street Comics 2017 winner, and also the #1 Philly celebrity, our good friend, the Dark Knight of Cosplay, who is truly a Batman and deserves to be on the list as well. So, congrats to those guys. And I know I got a message this morning from Batman, actually. Him and the Pirate they want to plan a big Philly A-list Winners Day at Ontario Street Comics coming soon. So be on the lookout for that.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So there you go.
Yeah.
It's almost 4 hours. So let's wrap it up. I gotta go take a leak, actually. I'm like drowning over here. So all right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for everybody who checked us out tonight. I know there was a bunch of people in the world of the Sarcoidosis clique tuning in. So thank you for that. Thank you to Karen. As always, amazing person. Thank you. Kristen Burt, as always, another amazing person. And to Nick and Janetti, as always, 2 more amazing people. Until next week. Next week, actually, we have lined up now this is she's the first lesbian comedian to be on Comedy Central, The Tonight Show, and a whole host of other shows. Susan Westenhofer will be making her TDR debut, as well as former New York Dolls guitarist. Currently plays guitar with Michael Monroe of Hanoi Rocks fame. Just released a solo single, and he's got a bunch of whole other solo stuff, and he's involved in tons of other stuff. But Steve Conti will be a guest as well, making his TDR debut next week. So there you go. And
all right,
some other stuff in the works for the weeks to follow, and there you go. Television Radio will be back next Thursday, live on the air, in your face, and playing maybe another new intro tune. So you never know. So, all right. Well, there you go, guys. I need to restart my computer. My screen went to shit about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night. See ya. Toodles.